or we're getting ready to.
You just got to tell me when I'm good to go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Limitless Lifestyle Sneak Peek event. Today, I have for you one of our special guests. This is Ken Eggleston. He is our Chief Operations Officer with Beneve, and he is the one that also designed our comp plan. So Ken is going to share a little bit about our comp plan and the highlights with that. And if you have any questions, just let us know. But I did want to go ahead and let you know, stay around until the end. And there's going to be a secret word that he's going to give, and we'll choose a winner. So stick around, and here we go. Thank you, Ken, for being here.
It's my pleasure, Desiree. So guys, first of all, good morning. Hope you don't mind the attire. I'm at the warehouse today because, as many of you know, there was, a hurricane expected to come across the state, and it's gone north of our primary facility. But we wanted to have all hands on deck to make sure that, because we got two separate locations for warehousing that we wanted to take care of. So thus the reason for the casual appearance today. I hope you don't mind, guys. I always love jumping on with customers, people that are just, enjoying the product, because it gives me an opportunity to talk about how we started in this and how we formulate the product. And there's almost 2 years that have gone into this product now in the R&D, or the research and development, but a solid 18 months, certainly. And, we went through so many different formulations and iterations in order to get this powerhouse impact that we have, and make sure that it was on an efficacious level as well, so that it would provide everything that you need to go ahead and get your day started, basically, re-energize you. I don't know about the vast majority of your ages, but I can tell you, I just clocked in 58. And, without this product, when I get up, I'd be dragging a lot of mornings, but I hit the coffee and I do the full scoop of the Accelerate. Those of you who are just now experiencing the product, one of the special things our CEO and founder did, Judy Willitson, is she created two different coffee products. One is the Accelerate, the full power, and then the second one was the Accelerate Light. I get a lot of questions on the Accelerate Light, and the difference in the Accelerate Light is we use 50% less of the stimulants that are in the full power Accelerate within the proprietary blend. So I know a lot of times people looking at the labels are trying to make an understanding, and we keep that within the proprietary blend because, of course, a lot of companies would love to reverse engineer us. And Judy had a lot of companies offering to buy this formulation even before she launched her own company, because it's such a high impact piece, and there was a lot of buzz in the industry about what was coming out. And now, of course, we've formulated that into the Accelerate Coffee, the Accelerate Light Coffee, and the Watermelon Berry, which the Watermelon Berry is actually the same formula as the full power Accelerate Coffee, except with that there's a difference in the caffeine content, where the full power Accelerate Coffee is at 230, and the Watermelon Berry, because it doesn't have any coffee in it, it's actually at 190 milligrams. But we have one additional ingredient in the Watermelon Berry coffee, Watermelon Berry energy formulation, and that is a nootropic to help deliver and break the blood barrier to the brain with all of the different stimulants and brain impact things that we have in there. The caffeine acts as a transport with the coffee, of course, and that's the beautiful part about the Accelerate Coffee line, is the caffeine is the main transport that breaks the blood barrier to the brain. That's why you see caffeine is included in a lot of your headache medication that's over the counter. That's one of the delivery systems of it, and it's a phenomenal delivery system. Of course, coffee is a whole different spectrum that we use for coffee, because coffee flavoring has the coffee's flavoring. The Watermelon Berry has 4 different components to the flavoring. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you're loving the product. I know our focus groups before we ever launched were like blown away. 85%, loved the full power accelerate, but we had about 20% that felt overstimulated. And that's where the light version was created. And Judy Willitson, again, our founder and CEO, really was focused on making sure that came through in that way. So, guys, when you jump into the Power of Three product, I don't need to spend a lot of time on products, but the Power of Three is just outstanding. The formulation time that went into that is incredible. Obviously, if those of you that know anything about glutathione understand the power of glutathione, and of course, it's the kind of master molecule antioxidant for the body. If you study a lot, my background I'll hit on previously, but I retired from law enforcement as a colonel, and in South Florida, one of the largest law enforcement agencies, and we had a lot to do in the community with a lot of contacts. And the glutathione, for those people that were suffering from serious medical disorders such as HIV or AIDS, those patients in the early days before they developed a lot of other medications, the final factor that you would see that was indicating their downward spiral at the end was the glutathione levels would become completely depleted in the body. So the glutathione was this master component, and we've come to learn so much about it. So within our Power of Three, you've got the glutathione piece, you've got the xanthol humol, you got the polynol. I mean, all these different components that are brought together in this is just incredible. Of course, the DIM, which is from the cruciferous vegetables out there, has an extraordinary thing. If you haven't taken the time to go to our corporate site, Beneve.com, click on the shop button, and when it drops down underneath the shop button, you'll see that below shop there's a whole ingredient glossary now. So you can click through all the different ingredients that are in our products. And then the secondary link is to a lot of PubMed docs that'll tell you more about the ingredients. Because a lot of companies will number one, they won't take the time to list everything out for you. But number two, they won't redirect you to any specific studies that are done on different ingredients for that. So please dive in and have a look at that. I guess the next primary thing is some of you might be considering the business opportunity of it, and you might be scratching your head and say, how did a law enforcement colonel transition over and become a chief operating officer of a direct sales and network marketing company? And that story kind of starts back 30 plus years ago while I was in law school down at Nova Southeastern University, and I was a watch commander with the sheriff's office. I was going to law school Monday through Thursday night while working full time. And the reason for that is I was blessed with having two children, but our oldest son had an allergic reaction to a DPT inoculation at the age of 24 months old. I had never heard or seen anything like that. And, 2 hours after he received the shot, he walked around, fell to the ground, was in full grand mal seizures. Rushed into the hospital, and without giving you a belated story, over 58 minutes later, he was still in the full grand mal seizure. They had to put him in a drug-induced coma, and by the grace of God and good medical care, he was able to survive. But he was in that coma for over 2.5 weeks, and the severity of the grand mal seizure and the oxygen deprivation that took place for 58 minutes caused him to have a TBI, which is traumatic brain injury. And that traumatic brain injury kind of locked him in right at that age group. Today, he's 32, but cognitively, he's locked in at about 3 to 4 years of age and only has about 10 words of speech. So that's ultimately why I decided to go to law school, because there was no way on a cop's salary that I was going to be able to afford all the medical care for Sean, plus set up a long-term trust fund. And, that brings us to how I was introduced to network marketing. And I rolled up on a scene that we were working, and another one of the watch commanders rolled up. We'd had a triple homicide, actually. And so the other watch commander stepped out of the car. He was down a substantial amount of weight. I didn't know what was, whether it's, health-wise, everything was good. And he ended up introducing me to a specific product. It has nothing to do with Beneve. This is, almost 30 years ago. And I was like amazed that he'd lost this weight. And you know, the other guy, with all due respect to John, he knows I joke about him all the time. His nutritional knowledge was that of a Big Mac a day. And I'm like, what do you know about vitamins or nutrition? He says, nothing, but I take this. And, you know, he says, helps out for energy and everything else. So he threw me a couple samples. And, you know, dragging on midnight shift and everything else is kind of hard. And so I ended up trying the samples. A bunch of firefighters wanted to know the cops. And so I loved it. I said, sure, hook me up on this stuff. So about 2 weeks in, I'm just a customer, had no idea there was a business opportunity behind it. He goes ahead and I go back to him. I said, John, how do I order this stuff myself? Because there wasn't all the things set up on the internet like there are today. And he goes, well, look. He goes, you know, you could just sign up yourself. He said, plus last month I made an extra $2,500 at this. That stopped me dead in my tracks because, you know, here I was trying to, if I could make an extra $500 a month, it could have been the difference between being able to take, you know, my wife out to dinner, to the movies, or have a little bit extra money in the pocket. And, you know, I said, well, how are you making this type of money? He said, well, I just introduced it to people like I introduced it to you. They become customers. And oftentimes, just like you, they end up asking me, well, how do I get this stuff myself? And, or they bring other customers to me. And in turn, we go ahead and you know, allow them to do the same. So he signed me up. And lo and behold, I just said, okay, so I can make retail profit. That's what I thought this whole thing was. I can introduce this product to the people. I'll make 20% on the retail profit, and, you know, I'll take that all day long. So, you know, I ended up, you know, joining, and I was introducing this product to other people. It was easy enough to say, hey, you got to try this. I'd sample them. They're on board. And then I'd say, great. Well, you can be a customer, or you can go ahead and sign up to do your own thing. And lo and behold, it was just a process of gathering customers and doing that. But the amazing thing was, and the reason why I share this with you, is that this has a core reason to why you're on the thing here. Somebody introduced you to Benieve. And I've never had any state-of-the-art product that like Benieve has today that can do all of this. And that individual that introduced that to me after I joined, and I built a team of customers. I went out, I just introduced customers constantly. I didn't worry about the business side. And then lo and behold, a large percentage of them ended up being in business. And my wife and I ended up becoming the number 5 income earners in that company. And we went as high as in a monthly point to reach over $250,000 a month with that. Guys, I come from a military family. My brother was a commander in the Navy. My father was a commander. You know, I got raised on military bases. There was no such thing as money like that then coming into law enforcement. So it was life-changing. And, you know, from there, I got into consulting and working in the industry and just loved it. And that's a long way of bringing you around to understanding what you have your hands on here. Benieve has created a product line here, which is high impact, and all you have to do is share it. This isn't something like where you have to say, okay, well, I need to create a whole business plan. I need to do this. No, all you have to do is literally share this incredible product with people. You know, from my own standpoint, if I was coming in and considering a business with Benieve and I tried the product and I revert back to where I was 30 years ago when I entered the industry, I would say that I'd set a goal, I'd sample 2 people a day. It's 10 people a week. If you're a customer right now, or you're just starting off in the business, you'd be like, hey, I can sample 2 people a day. And what I would do is, you know, I would sit down with them over lunch. And, you know, right after lunch or before lunch, I'd order a cup of coffee or hot water, and I'd pour the Accelerate Light or the Accelerate coffee into it. And I'd have that first question out of their mouth is, well, what's that, Ken? I'm like, well, you got to try some of this. Do you drink coffee? Yeah, I drink coffee. All right. How much have you had today? Because I always ask that because I want to make sure they haven't had a whole bunch of caffeine already. If they have, I'll give them a half stick like it recommends on the directions. And you know, I just go ahead and sample. And if you do that, the amazing part is the type of business that you will see build exponentially in growth is amazing. And guys, I would tell you, don't even worry about the compensation plan, although I'm going to touch on it. The simple process of sharing this just with customers and not be even worrying about the business. To me, I would be wanting to build this massive customer base. And normally I'd say, hey, you might have 10 or 20% transition of business with this because customers talk to other customers. they're going to be like, well, hey, you got to try this too. You got to try this. And sure enough, they're going to end up signing up. And the percentages that we're seeing, although we average about anywhere from 5 customers to 7 customers on a daily number per influencer joining, which is what shows you how much this works, because this isn't being driven by distributors. The growth of this company is driven by customers. That's when you know you have a real product. That's when you know it's not just a business focus, but this is product. And if you have a company that can be driven solely by customers, then the business is a no-brainer. So along with that, again, our founder and CEO, what Judy requested is she said, look, let's go ahead and structure just a pay it forward compensation plan. Like most companies in this industry say they split it with the field. 50% of the cost of each product goes to the field, 50% goes to corporate. Well, there's a lot of other factors that come into play there, and oftentimes it's nowhere near that. More or less about 38 cents goes to the field to pay them. Well, with Judy's direction, we take 65% of the commissionable volume that's assigned to each one of the products, and we push that back to our influencers that share our product with others. And then the company runs on the remaining 35%, and that operates our warehouse and fulfillment center. And I'm not sure if you've really taken a look or realized how quickly you see the products after ordering arriving directly to you, because very rarely does it take us longer than a day from the time the orders come in for the orders to be shipped out. We ship everything out 2-day FedEx or USPS, and we'll see the delivery anywhere from 2 days to maybe 4 days at maximum. And oftentimes people are receiving the product, in a 2-day to 3-day span. And we run a very efficient warehousing thing. I got to give a shout out to Judy's husband, Mark Willitson, because his specialty is in shipping and handling all those things, and he's set up an incredible system here. So everybody's all in here. So when you think about that 65% dedicated to the influencers to pay them, that means that you have the opportunity then to come in here and realize potentially life-changing income just from sharing products that everybody wants. Consider how many people consume coffee every day or consume energy drinks every day. It's a game-changing scenario here that is super simple. I mean, and I don't mean to simplify it more than that, but this is really a super simple process, because all you're going to do is tell your story. Say, hey, I tried this. I like it. I can't believe the energy it gives me. And I feel like I'm 10 or 15 years younger on this thing. And, I'm able to get up, get a whole bunch done. Everybody wants that. Everybody today, because of stress, financial issues and all that, they're all dragging, they're all tired. Everybody's doing that. I mean, just take a look at, all the junk that's out there, whether it's, Monster drinks or Red Bull and all that. You take a look at all of the things that are in there that your body shouldn't be getting. And if you can provide an efficacious, high quality product that's produced in the USA at a CGMP, and that's an FDA certified and inspected facility specifically for producing nutraceutical products. And in addition to that, our manufacturer is also NSF certified, which is a much higher level of certification. So we are both CGMP and NSF certified as far as the manufacturing facility. That manufacturing facility is here in Florida. And like I said, state-of-the-art facility. And all their equipment and everything else, it's all pharmaceutical grade. Matter of fact, they have pharmaceutical licensing or the capability, if they wanted to produce, because that's how high quality the facility operates and standardized wise. So, when you get into, and the next, I'll just touch a little bit into the compensation plan. We pay out 10 levels deep. So if you introduced another customer, that customer joined, they introduce another customer, and that could go up to 10 levels deep. And exponentially, the growth of that becomes quite massive. By the second and third level, it starts to break out very wide. And that drills down a full 10 levels deep. And we pay out, on average, 7% on that. We start off at 10% on the upper levels to make sure that we're pushing as much money to the new person coming in as we can. Second level, 7%. Third level, we go back up to 9% on that. And that's a 9% payout on the commissionable volume of the price of that product. Now, most people, and I'm assuming that some of you do as well, order what like our Limitless Duo. So that Limitless Duo ends up being 80 CV attached to it. That's the commissionable volume that we assign to the product in order to pay out, because it's 2 products. Well, if you take 10% of 80, it's simple math, you're going to come right out around $8. And so, you start to think, well, $8 doesn't sound like a lot, but that's on every one of your customers. Guys, you could literally stack on very easily over the course of a few months. You could literally have 50, 60, 100 different customers if you're out there sharing this product. And those of you on social media, it's astounding. I see some of our people on social media that, sign up 50 customers each month. Now, that's not counting when you start to have reps come in and as influencers and what they end up building. So guys, on top of just the payout that we have, then in addition to that, we do lifestyle bonuses as you start to build a team that come in. And that lifestyle bonus, starts off at $300 a month, goes as high as $1,200 a month. We've got incentive trips. We have, different pools that operate that pay out as you go up and you become an influencer and you rise up through the different ranks that we have set up. And I mean, just imagine 65% being pushed into it. So what I'd invite you to do, if you're a little bit confused of what I'm saying, is again, go back to that Beniv.com website, click the drop down, and you'll see a detailed compensation plan document. You can click on that detailed compensation plan doc, and you can walk through all the different ways that we pay you. But kind of a long way around that is to say, guys, the comp plan really doesn't matter because the products do. And you'll simply get paid the more products you share, the more people that you introduce and decide they also want to share products and introduce it to others. And that's what happened to me, guys. I was basically just a police officer, working my butt off, trying to take care of a family with a special needs child, took the time to work really hard for about, probably for about 2.5 years, 3 years. I put a lot of energy into it. And then we were paid for many, many years ongoing. And then my consulting business, obviously, I've been introduced to things across this industry, but I've actually, from the consulting side, I've helped launch 43 companies. But if you take a look at those 43 companies, and many of them turned into very large companies, I've never seen a company with the type of ownership that is putting the field in front of themselves with a 65% payout to the field. And in addition to that, the amount of money that goes into these products and the ingredients in these products and the amount of money that was invested in R&D was a 7-figure amount of money in the R&D development of the coffee itself and alone. And from that, we built out in others. And of course, we have other products coming in the pipeline. And, we've got our regional event, which is the first regional event for Beniv, which is going to be down in beautiful Fort Myers, actually right at the Sanibel Harbor Resort. Right there, just at the bridge from Fort Myers over to Sanibel. And those of you that love shelling understand it's the shelling capital of the world there. And the hotel sits on a beautiful thing. And we're going to be just getting to know everybody. And I would just invite you to be there. I'll be there. Of course, Mark and Judy will be there. A lot of the other leaders in the company, a lot of brand new people that are just coming to find out what this fantastic product and the future of this company is really going to be about. So if you're at that stage in life where you're kind of thinking, I'd like a plan B, or if you don't want a plan B, you just want to pay for the kids, college, or you want to help pay for the grandkids' college, or you want to go ahead and pay off your mortgage faster, or you want to tithe to your church, temple, synagogue, whatever you want to do with that money. This is an opportunity to help people and pass on a blessing from a company that is primarily focused on customers. And just look at some of the testimonials inside the Facebook group. Look at the life-changing things that have happened to so many people on this product. And, you know, that's what Mark and Judy really love. And that's really why Judy launched this company, is that she wanted to do something the right way. And those of you that don't know Judy Willison or Mark, you know, they were in the top 20 income earners in the world in the direct sales network marketing industry. They didn't need to launch their own company, but they saw time and time again that the other owners, they weren't paying people properly, and they just wanted to do it the right way. So they put their money where their mouth was, and you know, it's that old saying of, you know, let the rubber meet the road. And they did all of this specifically for the friends and family that have been with them for years, and they want to pass on the blessing. So with that, just keep loving the product. You just want to stay a customer. We love you. We want to make sure you're happy with the products. And if you possibly have the slightest interest, this is one of the most amazing business models that you will ever come across. And if you have that one little chance, get to that regional. September 1st is when the block of hotels that we have reserved with special pricing come to an end. So guys, we're sitting here, it's the 30th. You literally have one more day. If you're thinking about it, come down there, meet us, hang out, and, you know, let's build a family here. And so Desiree, you asked me for a secret word. So that secret word would be that's 2 words, get excited. So there's your secret word for the people that stayed around all the way through. I got to wait to see if Desiree comes back over for me.
Thank you so much, Ken. It was great having you on. We appreciate all of your insight and you sharing the compensation plan. Make sure, let's see. So we're going to go ahead and call a winner. So we have Carol Kitchen. Carol Kitchen, if you can go ahead and message me, then we will go ahead and get you your prize. So thank you so much for being on with us, and I will see you guys at 3 o'clock this afternoon. See you in a little bit. Bye.